traditional healer to see what they do and how they do it. What is the biggest difference between Western or allopathic medicine and traditional African medicine?
The difference is our traditional medicine is it's raw. You know, we go to the mountains and fetch the medicines, so we bring it home. There's no production of putting certain chemicals. We use what we have.
How long has traditional African medicine been practiced in South Africa?
It has been practiced long ago, from centuries. You know, South Africa is nothing without these things.
When you become identified or get the calling to become a healer or a sangoma, what does that process entail, and why only a few people in the country?
Getting identified as a traditional healer, a sangoma, it is something that your ancestors choose you from when you're still in the womb of your mother. It's not something that you go to school and study about it. You know? Yes, there are courses of traditional healers, but a calling, few are calling, have been called, you know, few have been called in Africa, or in South Africa. The person that has the luckiest, you know, even we check, yes, financially, I cannot say that you have everything that you need. Sometimes you have money, sometimes you don't, like you use money, you forget what you've done.
So what were the signs that you were going to become a sangoma?
Dreams work. You know, you can hear sounds, and you can try to prophesy, like before going to a training, they come true themselves, talking, telling people. Before you could go to a training, I was telling people, no, this is what I see, this is what I see, this is what I see, and this is what I dreamt of, and those things, they were happening. So when I was trained, I needed to be guided how to operate, how to train, but they didn't train me to see. They cannot train a person to see. As I said, it is from the womb of my mother. You know, I grew up with dreams. I grew up telling people about their future, telling people about what is happening currently, solving their problems as well.
So tell me a bit more about those visions and dreams that you were having.
About dreams, I could dream sitting with many people, and I was wearing this cloth, student cloth, wearing the cloth and singing, you know, singing these ancestral songs. And sometimes when I walk in the street, I didn't want to speak to people. I didn't want to associate myself with people. Noise was, I didn't want to even hear the sound, you know, like loud sound. Sometimes I could stay alone and crying, you know, crying. But when you're sitting like this, I could even tell people at school, I see that you have a problem of 1, 2, 3, 4. You have a problem of do this, pray so that you can be okay. That's how you start. That's where you realize, and I realized, which I have the calling. Not when I'm checking my bones, they tell me that you have headache, that you have even tried to have tablets. It's not ending.
You mentioned training earlier. What did this training do, and is there an association for traditional healers?
You know, calling, you don't only fall in love with it on the same spot. When I say you attract what you are, when you are called, I needed to be comfortable at where I was. And remember, I was from being a born-again Christian to being a sangoma. It is not an easy thing, and many people have went through the same thing. It is not the sweetest thing on earth. But I tried to say I have to accept who I am so that I can move forward with life. Accepting myself, then it made me to be proud of who I am. But also, again, it made me to know where I come from, and it gave me a clear sign where I'm going in future. So now I'm living with the guidance of ancestors and God, mostly God. Once I've accepted my calling as a traditional healer, it was not easy indeed. But You know, I was trained for 7 months. You know, there's training. The one thing that they teach you, it's ubuntu, it's humanity. You need to respect. You always have to bow down. No, not to pray. Bow down to an elder. If an elder talks to you, you must always apologize and do it. Yes, indeed, there is even traditional healers association. There's many of them in SA across even Africa. So if ever you're a traditional healer, you must be qualified. There must be something when the police officials come here, they see that you're a traditional healer. Because if someone dies here, I must prove that I'm a traditional healer. You understand? It's like even the Western doctors, someone dies in the hospital. You know. So here, it's not like you find people dying here. You know, and they give you something like this to approve to know that you're a traditional healer. Something like this, that your client will see that you certify. Even the police, when they come here, they see, oh no, okay, it's legit. Let me check. Are you okay?
Wow. Ntsika, thank you for your time, for sharing your knowledge with us, and your calling, and for helping me with my headache.
My pleasure, sir, but you don't have to thank me, really. We don't need to thank you here.
And now for your weekly exercise routine.